Imagine moving to a new place to start a new life. You try to fit in and make friends, but instead people turn on you for being an outsider. Because you don't belong. Because you are below them. Because you are a nobody. You take the beating until you reach breaking point. So what will you do then? Alena's story is one of struggle, not just against her personal demons, but also her tormentors, Philippa, Cecilia, and Tessin. Please take the time to like and subscribe this channel so we can deliver more content to you. It really helps. Thank you very much. Alena moved to the prestigious Oak Hill School in the middle of the term, which was uncommon. But she was approved given her traumatic circumstances. She immediately discovers the pecking order in her class. Philippa being the snobbish queen bee, along with her two followers, Cecilia and Tessin. Early on, the school counselor suggested that Alena join the lacrosse team to be more social, and she was looking forward to it. But Philippa is the team's best player, and with it came a serious bratty attitude. After the game, Philippa was bragging about her time in Paris as a model when Alena approached them. Alena mentioned that she always wanted to go to Paris, but Philippa ignored her and went to see Fabienne. Stylish cool girl Fabienne also brushed off Philippa when she showed her new bracelet. Pissed off, Philippa finds a way to channel her anger and found her target. Lacrosse girls' shots can go as fast as 60 miles per hour or 90 plus kilometers per hour. Philippa the unleashed upon poor Alena, yelling at her to not cross the field during a game. This caught the attention of Ulrika the counselor, and escorted Philippa back to her office. Fabienne saw everything, and went to see Alena if she's okay. The two talked for a while, and quickly found common ground. Meanwhile, Philippa is getting quite the scolding, but is still stubborn in her ways. After class, Alena walks back alone and has a smoke. Her best friend Josephine suddenly appears and remarks on Alena's snobbish private school uniform. She adds that if Alena dyes her hair blonde, then they'll accept her. So they both went to the store and stole everything they need. When they got home, Alena puts aside her dinner and got to work. Hair dyeing takes a while, so Alena was scoping out Philippa's blog. Philippa wrote about being offered a modeling gig in Paris, but turning it down as she wanted to pursue finance. Josephine offering her unfiltered opinion. After a short while, Alena's hair is ready, so she excitedly unwrapped the covers and was shocked at the result. Alena was really upset at Josephine for lying about the hair dye being blonde, but Josephine insisted that it's perfect for her, and she doesn't need to fit in with the rest of the snobs. Alena cuts her hair in desperation and tells Josephine to leave. Philippa is on her way home that same night when a stalker creepily appears. She walks down the hallway and gets the mail and gets the feeling she's being watched. When she enters her apartment, that's when she was attacked. The next day, Philippa is telling the two what happened that night when Alena enters the room. All three of them gave her a look of disgust. After class, they still continued to gossip about her. During sport education, the coach approached Alena and invited her to practice lacrosse with the team, to which she gladly accepted. Later on, Fabienne found her smoking alone, and after complimenting her hair, invites her out. Philippa looks on with jealousy as the two happily walk together. Eventually, they arrive at Fabienne's house, and she prepares tea for Alena. Fabienne talked about how her father always traveled for work, that's why they move a lot. And Alena tells her about her desire to travel to Paris, but her mood changed when she sees Josephine stalking them. Alena decided to leave immediately. On the way back, Josephine was upset and jealous. Alena asks if she was the one who attacked Philippa, but Josephine didn't give a straight answer. Alena was busy at lacrosse practice, but Philippa and Cecilia were busy scheming. They called over another girl, Lala, and threatened to replace her spot in the team with Alena if she doesn't do anything about it. After practice, The coach again awkwardly complimented Alena's skills, telling her she has real promise. Alena proceeds to the lockers for a shower, but finds that the whole team wasn't there. She didn't find it strange, so she carried on, but hears someone calling out to her. It was Lalo. Suddenly, the trio appeared and starts harassing Alena. They forcefully push her in the showers and continue on their rant. Then the trio order Lalo to violate Alena. They lock the room and turn off the lights. Lalo slowly moves in and tells Alena not to struggle anymore, and to just play along. All the while Philippa yelling taunts from outside. A knock distracts Lalo, but suddenly another hand mysteriously grabbed her and threw her to the wall. Philippa was calling out to Lalo, when without warning, the door bursts open, leaving Philippa in a bloody mess. Alena broke down by the staircase where a crowd is slowly gathering. The coach and counselor Ulrika heard from one of the students that Alena assaulted Philippa. They continued in the headmistress' office where Philippa was loudly asserting that Alena did assault her. She was dismissed and left bitterly. Alena was left in a state of shock when the headmistress broke her trance and tells her she's officially part of the lacrosse team. On her way out, Counselor Ulrika warns Alena not to use violence anymore, since she pulled a lot of strings for her to be in this school. Fabienne heard what happened and chases Alena but was ignored. Philippa tells her not to bother anymore, since Alena probably has a dark past. Alena rushes to the playground where she met with Josephine. Josephine regretted not being able to fully protect her, but Alena got upset with her and heads home. Alena blames Josephine for making everything worse when Josephine begins to change in front of her very eyes. Alena locks herself in the bathroom, but Josephine continues to whisper Alena's dark fears. Josephine leads Alena into the bedroom and used that fear to produce a terrifying illusion which fed into Alena's dark thoughts. She succumbs to this vision and collapses. The next day, Alena wakes up on the floor and hears the doorbell. Fabienne came in to visit her. Fabienne looks around and notices a photo of Alena and Josephine. She playfully asks Alena who it was, feigning a bit of jealousy, but Alena just snapped at her. Alena quickly realized what she did and offered to get food for them. They both end up spending the whole day together and having fun. They finished late in the night and eventually Fabienne left. She rode her bike through the eerie lit streets and gets the uneasy feeling that she's not alone. The speeding train foreshadowing her thoughts. She continues on but got attacked just before the tunnel. Fabienne falls face first over her bike and got kicked before she can recover. She was about to get stabbed when a passing car saved her. The attacker abruptly left and didn't turn back. Alena was at a session with Counselor Ulrika where she was talking about Josephine's death 6 months ago. Apparently, she still hasn't moved on. After lacrosse practice, the coach asks Alena if she wanted to be part of the reserve for the championship match. Alena was all too happy to accept, but then Philippa dropped by and again used her father as a threat. Alena enters the hallway, and the three were also there, making confrontation inevitable. After Philippa rudely bumped her, she tells Alena how sorry she was that Fabienne is in the hospital. She also rubs it in her face the fact that no one told her. Alena immediately visits Fabienne in the hospital and tells her about school. Fabienne got quiet and tells Alena how scared she was that she could have died. When Alena left the room, she finds Josephine's silhouette in the distance. She confronts her and angrily demands her to stop, and as she's now free of her control. Alena is on her way home when she recalls a dark memory. Josephine was upset at Alena for leaving town soon and thinks she did that to get rid of her. Alena wanted to move on with her life, and Josephine offers her own solution. Things have really started to take a turn when Filippa wasn't selected to play in the finals. Of course, Filippa appealed this decision, but the school board's decision was firm. She of course used her father, but he actually approved of it, and even thought it's for the better. With no one left to turn to, Filippa broke down in isolation. Alena tells Fabienne that Filippa is suspended and she gets to play in the finals. She also invites Fabienne to watch the game, and Fabienne invites Alena to travel with her to Paris after the game. The game ended in Oak Hill's victory, and Alena was ecstatic, Filippa looking on at the bleachers. After the game, Fabienne congratulated Alena, and both went straight to the party. While Alena is at the party, Filippa went to Alena's home and breaks in. She explores for a bit and found private photos and drawings. Satisfied with what she's found, she decided to gate crash the party. Meanwhile, Alena and Fabienne escaped to one of the classrooms to have a private time to themselves. Filippa then took this opportunity to tell everyone what she has found in Alena's house. She tries to show Alena's disturbing drawings, but no one is taking her side anymore. That is when she pulls out her phone and sent everyone more photos. Alena eventually figures out what Filippa was up to and goes out to confront her. But Filippa was not yet done. She read aloud a letter that Josephine wrote to Alena.
Den natten är det finaste, vilken jävla falsk fitta du är. Men du bara utnyttjar mig hela skolan. Till den där jävla, så att du kan skaffa nya vänner. Kommer fatta vilket freak du är. Hon som tog livet av sig. Alltså fattar ni att hennes
Filippa was still pressing her case, but no one is acknowledging her anymore, so she takes matters into her own hands. Filippa attacks Alena, but she fights back. Alena picks up her belongings and runs away. Filippa is still appealing to everyone, but clearly she's not the queen bee anymore. Alena kept running until she reached the playground. Unfortunately, Filippa caught up and started beating Alena with the lacrosse stick. She blames Alena for everything like a proper psycho. Filippa had enough and decides to end Alena then and there. However, she was stabbed from behind and was gone instantly. An imposing figure just standing nearby. Alena ran away. Alena ran and ran until she got to the bridge where she finally confronts her demons. Once again, she begged Josephine to stop, but Josephine can't really do anything because she's gone. But Alena somehow finds this concept mentally challenging. She fights her and failing each time, until Josephine has had enough and invites her to do the final blow. Another flashback shows Josephine taunting Alena to push her. As Alena struggles with her inner conflicts, she makes her decision. The full blow of reality hitting her as she finally accepted the truth of that day. She collapses and Fabienne finally catches up to her. Fabienne is distraught, but Alena has finally found peace.